Hi, and welcome to my channel. My name is Naya, and thank you for joining me for True Crime Tuesday. Today, we're going to be talking about the Black Widow, also known as Roberta Elder. Roberta was born on March 20th, 1903, in Washington, D.C. There wasn't too much information about Roberta really online. I tried looking for documentaries, I tried looking for articles, and there was really not that much brought up about Roberta, so the information that I have is very limited. However, I did think that this story was very interesting for one of two reasons. One, because you don't really hear about black serial killers. And I tend to believe sometimes people don't think that they actually exist, but they do. And two, on my channel, I'm primarily going to be trying to cover either black killers or people of color who have done heinous crimes of the such. I'm also going to be covering just other either unsolved cases, cold cases, Jane Doe cases, and other crime videos, so it isn't just limited to murder and serial killings. And I also want to let you know, trigger warning, that there is the death of children. However, I won't get too graphic or into detail about it, but it does include the death of several children. So, to get into it today, it was believed that she killed on average at least one person every year, and the killing started in 1938 and did not end until 1952. So it's been quite a while with her killing every year, and it's suspected that she killed 14 people, and unfortunately all 14 of the people that she killed were her family. Her first suspected victim was her husband, John Woodward. He was 36 years old, and he died in December 1938. And it was believed that he died of pneumonia. However, it was really suspicious to the coroner and stuff like that back then in 1938. But however, because technology wasn't as advanced as it is today, there was really no way of telling that he actually didn't die of pneumonia. It was just more suspected that he did. And then only shortly 6 months later, her own son also died of what seemed to be pneumonia. Her son was James Thurwood, and he died at only 13 years old, which is very unfortunate. So as the years went on, just so many people around Roberta were dying, and she was just claiming life insurance policy after policy after policy. And back then the policies were only $500. Now I know you're probably thinking oh, $500, you kill people for $500. Money obviously went up in value, so I'm not 100% sure how much it would be today, but it was Shawty was living a really nice life. Now on to what seemed to be the most suspicious of her murders was that of her third husband, Reverend William Elder. When I did do research and I was able to look up things about him, I was seeing that he did have children other than one daughter with Roberta, and as described, he was a very loving man. He was a reverend, he was a construction worker, he was just an overall nice family guy. There was really not much to say about him other than he was just a good all-around American man. It was said that he was sent home early after eating bananas and cheese at work for lunch. Now, my first initial thought was, why was you eating bananas and cheese for lunch? Not even just it being a time error, but what? Anyways, so he was sent home, and he was left in the care of his wife, Roberta. So Roberta called the family doctor, and the family doctor came and he examined William, and he just thought that Probably a stomach bug. He told Roberta if he seems to be getting worse to call and to just give him constant care. However, Roberta did not call. She just let it ride. And unfortunately, he died. So she called the family physician when it was literally too late. And unfortunately, William died. And however, when the family physician saw William and he said that he died of pneumonia, it just didn't make sense because of certain things that he physically was able to see on William. So instead of what Roberta thought he was going to do, in which many other physicians did, was just sign a death certificate and unfortunately bury the victim, he, however, called the county coroner. Now, when the county coroner got a hold of William's body, he too was very taken aback because William's body had a reddish tint to it, so like a reddish hue to his skin, and also he was emaciated, which, if you don't know what that means, and I probably pronounced that wrong, but don't clock me, it means that there was extreme weight loss, meaning that his skin was literally clinging to his bones. And I don't know if you know, but somebody who dies of pneumonia, they look sickly, but not like literally skin and bones. So when the doctor saw this, he was like, whoa, like the coroner, I'm sorry. When he saw this, he was like, whoa, it's definitely just not pneumonia that killed this man. So he did a little further research and he saw that there were two more deaths that happened just 2 years prior on this family home on Eastern Street in DC. And that was of Fannie Mae Elder, who was only 15, and the poor soul of Annie Pearl, who died at 9 years old. Both died of pneumonia. So from what Reverend Williams' body looked to how the two girls died somehow of the same way, it was enough for the coroner to want to do testing on the other girls just to see how they died. And it was found in both Annie and Fannie Mae's hair that they did find traces of arsenic poisoning. And they went on to do further tests on William as well, and it was also determined that he died of arsenic poisoning. Now, I just want you guys to understand that there was enough arsenic in his body to kill at least 4 grown men. And in order to kill one grown man, you need at least a pea-sized amount of arsenic. So he had like 3 times the amount of it in his body. So, you know he's gonna die. So how it was believed that she did it was, she obviously was the caretaker. So she made their food, she made their drinks, and she also administered medicine to them because, remember, as I said, the doctor thought that he just had a stomach ache from his lunch. So she gave them milk with magnesia. It was suspected that she mixed the arsenic in the milk with magnesia. And as you probably don't know, but I know some people who are into true crime do know, that arsenic has no flavor. It has no smell and it has no taste. So being able to sneak it into food and other things will be extremely easy because it doesn't taste any different. Like, you can literally cook stew and mix arsenic in it and nobody will literally ever know. So that's how it was believed that she did it. Now, when I did my research, it doesn't seem like she got anything for the death of Annie. So in all tragic honesty, Annie died of vain because she didn't have a life insurance policy out on her because she wasn't Roberta's daughter, so she couldn't get any money off of Roberta's death. But what it was said is that she got $550 off of William's death, and then she also got $500 out of Fanny's death. And to fast forward to the trial, on September 20th, 1952, she was arrested on the death of her third husband, Reverend William Elder. And in court and in proceedings, many witnesses came forward and said that You know, Roberta always had a small bag of pink powder, which, if you didn't know, arsenic can take on the color of pink. And it was said that her older son always saw her have this bag, especially near her when she was cooking. So, you know, not too much on Roberta. So it wasn't confirmed if she did it in the food, if she did it in the medicine. Like, it's up in the air with exactly how she poisoned them. But, you know, she did it. So she was convicted and she was sentenced to life imprisonment, which I don't know if she's dead or not yet. I probably should have looked that up. Shame on me. However, in one of the court proceedings, her son, Willie, I mean, Reverend's son, Willie Ed Elder Jr., said that he stopped eating over at the house after his father died, because while his father was alive and he ate over at the house, he got sick twice. So it was really suspicious to him. So he already had stopped, but he especially stopped once his father died, because one, he really has no ties to Roberta other than her being, you know, his stepmom. But it was really suspicious that he was getting sick too while his dad was alive, and why he only got sick when he ate over at their house. So he kind of put two and two together, and he said in the court proceeding that he felt like, you know, she was going to try to kill him too. And it was very unclear whether or not she had a life insurance policy and if she was the sole beneficiary of any of his children's life insurance policies, which I kind of am going to assume that she wasn't, because, you know, she didn't get anything off of poor Annie's death. So yep, she was found guilty, and the only thing about it was she was only found guilty of her husband William's death. All the other 13 killings, they didn't charge her on it. They only charged her for her third husband, which was actually pretty weird, because it's like, they say she has a count of 14 victims. However, she was only charged for one. So it was either suspected that she killed 14 people because they all seemingly died of pneumonia, or they just didn't have enough evidence, because again, it was only 1952 when she was convicted for her husband William's death. So, you know, it was very limited. So they couldn't really, you know, they couldn't really say whether or not she actually killed him or if they died from pneumonia. But the police are going with the latter, that she actually did kill him, because they all did die of the same thing, pneumonia. So that's really all there was on Roberta, also known as the Black Widow. Thank you for supporting me. This is my very first video on these type of things. Be sure to comment. Tell me what you guys think I can work on. Tell me if you liked it. You know, recommend cases. I do ask, if you do recommend cases, that they either be of black murderers, or things involving black people or people of color. Only because when you look at the algorithm of, you know, true crime videos on YouTube, you don't really see. And I know some people are like, why would you want to highlight the crimes of it? And it's like, I'm not trying to highlight it, but I'm just trying to, like, help people to understand that this type of thing happened, and there are black serial killers, and there are other people of color serial killers. Like, everybody knows who Ted Bundy is, everybody knows who Jeffrey Dahmer is. Like, not to give them a legacy, but to just bring awareness that this type of thing does happen in other communities. So thank you for joining me. I hope to see you guys again on next Tuesday, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Stay safe, and